What's up, guys? Iceman here. So, just recently, Fat Boy picked up this Trek Dual Sport 2 hybrid mountain bike. The sales guy told me this is the 2021 model. So, I don't know if he's full of shit or what. He might have been talking out of his toad, but I really don't know, man. I think it's the 2021. That's what he said. But I never really verified. I didn't verify half the shit that he was saying. Because there's kind of a bike shortage right now. For those of you who don't know, production is down and shit. So, folks be looking for bikes, man. And I bought one that was still available. I mean, shit, this was the last one. That's what he said. Last one, man. But there'll be more coming. Don't you guys worry. Maybe, later this year or some shit. When you don't need it anymore in the wintertime. I got it a little dirty. It was at a park, but it's the second version. There's four dual sports. And you see what's told about these bikes is how they're actually made for both road and trails and shit. It's like a hybrid. So, yeah, if you check out the tires here, I mean, they stick enough, right? They's not too thick, but in my opinion, they's just right for the shit that I do. And I actually went through some mud, some mud that was like this thick, just some wet fucking mud. And surprisingly, I went right through it. So, I don't know. I don't plan on going through a fucking lake. So I think it's good enough for what I do. I mean, to be honest, I don't really do shit, but I kind of plan on doing more. That was the intent. And getting a bike, well, it's kind of fun riding it when it's new, but yeah, okay, maybe in a month from now I won't even be riding this shit. Maybe I'll just be a lazy fuck. But that's not really the intention. And some of you guys who watch my videos, I know, are fat as fuck. So, most of you aren't, but some of you, I mean, you might be, okay? I don't know this for a fact, but, I mean, it's just a numbers game, right? The probability has it that some of you are. So, if you get a bike, you're going to be able to get your cardiovascular up a little bit, and it'll be better for your heart. So everything else will be enjoyable. Your endorphins and shit will be activated more. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't no scientist, but I mean, there's some shit about it when you exercise, and you just feel better, man. Just take my fucking word for it. God damn. But, not that I really know, but I've been doing it some. Yeah, this bike is, it's pretty good. It has these disc brakes. So, I don't really know, I don't have much experience with these disc brakes. I thought the disc brakes were a great idea initially because, the padded brakes, they're right here. And sometimes they'll scrape against the tire. So the disc brakes, and another thing with these kind of brakes is, they can get dirty and shit. Like you can see here, my tire's all dirty. So if you get the pad brakes, they're going to go up against here. Right? Don't they touch the tire? Or they touch the frame? Or they touch right there, okay. They touch the metal thing. So the padded brakes touch the metal thing. But these, they're kind of out of the way from getting interfered with as much from the environment. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I just kind of thought maybe that was a good way to go. Of course, generally bikes are a little bit more expensive that have the disc brakes. It's kind of a tier up in price. This one wasn't cray expensive, but it was like $600 or $700, I think is what it was for its retail price. I think it was $669. So, and the Dual Sport 1 I think is like $120, $130 less than that. The Dual Sport 3 is like $860. The Dual Sport 4 is around $1,200, I believe. I didn't do research for shit. I just said, what do you guys have that fit me? And he said, oh, we got this thing. And this, I was already looking into the Trek FX models. But their tires are thin as toads, the Trek FX models. So I asked him, okay, well, what do you have that's just a bit more trail oriented? And he said, Iceman, you gotta check this motherfucker out. Well, he didn't say that. He didn't curse, I mean, he's a professional. But he said, Iceman, you got to see this bike that I have. It's the Dual Sport, and it's towed. Is exactly what this guy said. It was crazy. I mean, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll take his word for it. Maybe this bike's towed. And sure enough, man, I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it was a better way to go over the FX. And I have seen a few reviews on this thing where people say it's great on the road. And from my experience so far, it has been. It's fast. And it's fast as a toad on the road. So I don't have too much to compare it to, but I have seen reviews by folks who review a lot of bikes, and they do make claim of that. But it's pretty good on the road. Well, yeah, like I said, I think the tires are thick enough to where I ain't really need thicker ones. And I put on this cheap pack right here. I think I got that online for like $7 shipped. It's really cheap. But I like to carry my phone sometimes and a little lock just in case. And this is a specialized cup holder. So I found that on some used bike. So I just took it off the used bike and I put it on here. And I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if there's nothing else to say about this thing. Am I missing something? It's light. I think it's about 28 pounds. So yeah, it's very light. I guess I gotta show you guys one more thing. The shifting is cool. See, check this out with how you hold it. I'm not really used to this. I think I'm used to having longer handlebars. Of course, my hands I think are a bit on the larger end on average. So maybe you're still supposed to be able to have your whole hand on the bar without, these things knocking into your thumb and index finger. But I don't know, because this is the comfortable way to ride it, with both your hands on the gear switches at all times. And it took some getting used to, because on my older bike, I just have it like this because there's plenty of room, and then I just kind of reach out and grab these. But it seems as though this might have been intentional, where they tried to optimize it. They're like, well, we want folk to be able to always have their hands on the gears, so it's less action that you have to take to shift. And I'm starting to get used to that, but I just feel like it's a bit more stable having a full grip on the bars like this. But it's not, I don't think you're losing too much when you have your hands on the gears like this at all times. And then you can kind of reach out with your two, or your pinky even, and to brake. And the brakes are very effective, especially on these disc brake bikes. Now this, you can change the shocks. You can have them so they're activated or not, so they're stiff. Does it say? Okay, it says open right there. So here's lock. See that? Now let me know in the comments below, why would you want to lock these damn things? I think it might have to have something to do with less absorption, so you can go faster, something to do with momentum and shit, but I don't really know. Because actually on my other bike, sometimes I would notice it almost to be a detriment to have, it given like that, like all the time. But obviously you want to use them when you're on really bumpy roads or going on maybe trail riding. And these are actually quite loose. And then it varies. So you can strengthen and weaken it, or you can just lock it completely. So that's a pretty cool feature that this bike has. But I mean, a lot of them have that these days from what I've seen. The seat's kind of comfortable. This is the XL version. That's what I needed for my height. So here we go. Let me put it over. Yeah, I wanted to show you guys one thing. My tire. Shit. Watch this. Let me know if this is normal for you guys who are familiar with bikes. I'm worried it's you hear that? It's catching a little bit. That happened after I changed it. I only had the bike for a day and I ran over a hawthorn in a park. But see, it only lasts 10, 12 seconds from a good spin, and then it stops. So it's catching a little bit there. The brake pads are scraping against the brake. So, little concern that I fucked something up. I couldn't get it in there. I couldn't shove the brake blade, the brake disc in between the pads. The pads were so close together. I couldn't get that shit in. I kept wiggling it, and I forced the damn thing in there, man. I mean, I hope I didn't break something, you know what I mean? But yeah, let me know, for those of you who are familiar, how unusual that is for it to just, only spin for 10, 12 seconds. If you give it a good hard push. I'm kind of concerned, man. I think that's bullshit. I just bought this bike. So I don't really know what to do about that. I might have it checked out. Problem is you turn it in and you don't get it back for days. So I ain't really looking to be away from the bike for a little while yet. Because it's been a good time. I just spend, on the evenings or nights, I'll go on the ride for maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe a couple hours, and I'll take a few breaks. It's kind of what I have in mind. So yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a little toad right there in the garage. We had a wet towel on him, and I picked it up, and his legs are all spread out. I thought he was dead. But I came back, and he was all upright again. So I guess the little toad's okay. Just to let you guys know. But yeah, like the video if you will. Let me know if you guys go mountain biking or just road biking or whatever. And yeah, let me know about this tire issue if you guys know what the hell's up with that. Is that bad? Like, I can hear it scraping on that brake. I don't know if that's normal for a new bike. I don't think it was doing that before I switched the tire out. So, talk to you guys later. Peace be with you.